Okay, recording. Welcome to our team call. Thank you guys for hopping on. I have the wonderful Miss Jamie Powell speaking to us tonight. I'm really, really excited. Jamie is my spirit animal. Raw, real, authentic. If you don't follow her on social media, go check it out. She's an incredible person and has just made leaps and bounds recently, and I'm super pumped. We're both going to NLC in a couple weeks, which I'm really pumped about. We're going to LA. And yeah, I feel like I don't even need to explain. Just go to her social media and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But Jamie's going to talk to us about taking action. And so if you've got questions, you can either type them in the chat or maybe just mute yourself. Maybe she'll open up for questions at the end. But yeah, thanks for hopping on, Jamie.
No problem. So I wasn't sure if you were going to record or not. So I was like, oh, I'll wear my house robe. I'll be good. But I don't really care. I mean, you can catch me on my Instagram stories like 95% of the time in this house robe. So here we are. So tonight I was kind of unsure of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. But like Olivia said, I've actually experienced kind of, big strides in my business in the last couple of months. And the only difference or the only thing that I've changed is that I've actually taken massive action. And I've taken massive action because I got crystal clear on what it was that I wanted out of this business, what this business could do for me. And then I made work very enjoyable from there. So I started to have conversations. I feel like when I first started coaching, the conversations were just not that fun to have, or I didn't necessarily like, hopping in DMs and talking with people. And now I feel like the conversations that I have are really authentic and really true. And like, I talk about things that I really want to talk about. So this is going to be kind of an interactive call because I want you guys to get to the bottom of like what is actually holding you back. So I'm going to ask you questions, and I would really, really like for you guys to actually type it in the chat what your answers are, because I'm going to use those to kind of play off of and help you break through those limiting beliefs or roadblocks or things that are holding you stagnant and stuck in a pothole that aren't allowing you to take action in your business. So my number one question for you guys, and if you could answer this in the chat, that would be amazing, is why are you here? Why did you sign up to coach? No, there is no wrong answer. Okay. So like if you're here to make money, that's okay. If you're here to help people, that's okay. If you're here because you need to be held accountable to lose weight, that's okay. It doesn't matter what it is. Just type in the chat why you're here, why you signed up to coach. Me personally, I signed up to coach because I was a former athlete. I felt like I had lost myself. I felt like I didn't know what to do when it came to going to the gym, which we don't actually have where I live because I live in a small town. And then I also was like, I don't know what to eat as a grown-ass adult. That was my biggest thing. So I signed up with the 21-day fix because I was like, I don't know what to eat. Like, what are like 23-year-old adults supposed to eat? So I signed up for that. And then I actually started coaching for the income. I thought it would be really cool because I always wanted to be a personal trainer. And so I thought it would be cool if I could do this kind of on the side and pursue that, motivation and empowerment that I could help people with through online without showing up at a gym every morning at 5 o'clock and like spending my evenings there, because ultimately personal training just isn't really for me. Okay, Olivia, because I found somebody out there who needed this. I found food freedom. I found balance. I found myself again. I want to support people in their fitness journey while holding myself accountable with the bonus of extra cash. Of course, like, who wouldn't want to get paid to look after themselves, to hold me accountable, to help people who struggled like I did, to build my life of freedom. So freedom is a big thing. And I think, Brooke, when you say that, you probably mean financially and time freedom. I signed up so that in the future I can have this as a full-time job and I can help others. I thought I was going to be a nurse and then quickly realized that wasn't for me. Yeah, Beachbody helps people in a way, in so many ways, you know? Awesome. Sherry, I want to help others with fitness and nutrition, and I'm looking for the extra cash. So we're all kind of here for common ground. It feels good to help people, but it also feels really good to be compensated for that. And when it comes down to it, your job as a coach is to look after yourself and then help your clients. So I like to think of it as I get paid to do workout programs, or I get paid to look after myself. And when I sit down with myself, when I sat down, oh, I don't have it up here. Oh, yeah. When I sat down with myself towards the end of last year, I was kind of going through like a midlife, and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. Like, I'm selling my business. I read this book, Do What You Are. And I really questioned whether what I was doing as a coach was actually what I wanted to do. And I came to the realization that like there is literally no job title in here or anywhere on this earth that I would rather do than get paid to do fitness programs and help other people do it too. Like, I literally can't imagine. I would be doing this anyways, and I think any of you would be as well. So why not get paid to do it? And that's the biggest thing. So what were your goals and intentions as a coach? Like, thinking back to like when you first signed up as a coach and you were like, what if I signed up as a coach and I could do this? What was that thing for you? Was it, what if I could like alleviate some financial stress from my husband? Or what if I could go on this all expenses paid trip? Or what was it like, what if I could quit my job? Like, what was your thing? You know, what were your goals and intentions as a coach? Or what are your goals and intentions as a coach even still? Yeah. I feel like, Olivia, we are there. We are traveling. We're just still living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. Even still, guys, like you guys might look at my Instagram, you might look at like me on Facebook, and things look hunky-dory, but like I still have those visions and those intentions and goals for myself that are so much bigger than what I have now. And I know that you guys feel that. Like, don't be afraid to claim that title, or don't be afraid to claim that goal and be like, yes, I am after that. Like, it is not crazy of me to sell a business of 27 years, or sorry, of 9 years at the age of 27 years old and just go online. You know, like what, saying it out loud and saying it to the people in my community, sure, you'll know this. People think I'm crazy. Like, honestly, people are like, you're a what kind of coach? And I'm like, you don't get it, but it's okay if not everybody understands. Financial freedom and travel. Me too. Olivia, Amy, me, Brooke, Sherry, Jesse. That's so crazy. And so, like I shared today on my story, you guys, all you need to do is help 3 to 5 people a month for the next 12 months, and you can go to Mexico. I want to say all expenses paid. You pay for your flight, but like if you look up the resort that we're staying at, it would cost you $2,500 a person to stay there. And you can earn that for free. Design my dream home. I so want to do that. Stay at home mom. I refuse to work once I have kids. Okay. So we're all kind of on common ground there. So now my question is, why aren't you there yet? When it comes down to it, why aren't you there yet? Now, this can be more specific, but we're going to go deeper into it. So we're going to go deeper into what's holding you back. But I'm going to guess the reason why a lot of us aren't where we want to be is because we haven't taken massive action yet. right? We've taken baby steps, and that's great. And I want you guys to continue doing that. But we haven't taken massive action. Better yet, we haven't allowed ourselves to believe that what we want, what you guys just typed in that group chat, is possible. You don't quite believe that you're worthy of that, because if you did, you would already be there. Yeah. I wasn't 100% clear on my vision until this fall either. And it was kind of like, well, do I want to just like work online and travel? I don't know. Do I? I read that book, you guys. The book is called Do What You Are. Highly recommend it. I'm just going to put it in here. So I think that lack of action probably resonates with all of us, probably resonates with everybody, let's say in Success Clubbers or our downline. But what it ultimately comes down to is a limiting belief. And so I want to help you guys work through this right now. I want to give you some tips as to like what I did in the last maybe 6 months, let's say, that have really helped me to like not crush those limiting beliefs, because they still pop up, but just to like step over them and be like, I recognize you're there, but I'm just stepping over you because I have no option. Like I can't keep running into it. And so that's what we need to do tonight, is to get to the bottom of that. So what's holding you back? Obviously, like I said, lack of action, lack of belief that we're worth that, or maybe it's really hard for you to just visualize yourself in that space. Okay. So if that's what it is, take a minute to lay in bed before you're laying in bed tonight, while you're laying in bed before you go to sleep tonight, visualize that life that you want for yourself. Jordan, are you listening to me? My husband's making the bed in the other room. I try and get him to do these like visualizations. I'm like, just picture this. And he's like, you do it. So a few things that I really recognized were, number one, what was holding me back is that I wasn't sure if this was the right thing for me. I was like, but what if it's not Beachbody? Like, what if I shouldn't be a Beachbody coach? What if I should be doing something else? And so I actually read the book, Do What You Are, and realized that like I'm an ENTJ, which means I'm an extrovert, intuitive, thinker, and judger. And so my personality type is like bossy, leader, outgoing, CEO, manager, great at working with teams, great at mentoring people, great at kicking people in the ass. Like everything that a good leader needs, I've got. And so once I realized that, I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. I know that about myself. I am very bossy and I have all of those traits. And so once I stepped into that, and I was really like, you know what? I could lead a huge team when it comes to Beachbody. I could manage a 15-star Diamonds business center. Then it was like, okay, what do I want that to look like for me? So figuring out your niche market is huge. So figuring out write this down. Figure out what it is about Beachbody that you love so much. Okay. And then really narrow down on that. So for me, this past 6 months, I have listed my house, listed my business. I'm getting married in a few months, and I have made the decision to move 6 hours away from my family. Emotionally, I've basically been a train wreck for like 6 months. And so what I did was I actually leaned into fitness and leaned into my fitness programs. And throughout the worry and the anxiety and the unknown, I just gave myself my 30 to 60 minutes every single day. And I really leaned into that. And I let the trainers be my therapists. Like, not kidding. Walla Caesar, for the last 6 weeks of 2019, had me on my knees crying several times. He was my therapist. I leaned into these programs and I allowed fitness to be my outlet for stress, for worry, for anxiety. I allowed it to be the 30 minutes that I had to myself where I didn't have to worry. I just gave myself permission to like not worry. And so for me, fitness, moving my body has done wonders, wonders for my mind. What are you doing in the closet, bud? Come on. So for me, and if you read my last couple posts, I've been sharing about what fitness has done for me emotionally. Okay. I'm not sharing about weight loss. I'm not sharing about nutrition. I'm not sharing about, I don't know. I'm literally sharing about how fitness has been my emotional outlet, how I've allowed fitness to level me up, like seriously level me up and be like, okay, if I can do 45 minutes with a Mala, I can sit down and do my power hour. I can lead a team of 15-star diamonds, right? So that's my niche. So figure out your niche. Ricky, is Ricky on here? I don't know if she is. She skates tonight. Ricky, one of my coaches today, she has a coach who lost 30 pounds. She has kind of rubbed off on her husband, and he's since lost, I want to say 40 to 50 pounds. And for Ricky, this is her thing. She's like, I just couldn't even read her message this morning because it felt so good. Ricky said to me this morning, this is like my area, you know, like helping people with nutrition, helping them lose weight, like excess amount of weight, you know, like 50 plus pounds is Ricky's niche market. Like that is what she's good at because that is what she's done. Okay. I, on the other hand, yeah, I've lost 35 pounds, but like I've stuck to fitness and allowed fitness to emotionally empower me. And that's my thing. So what is your thing, you guys? Figure out your niche market because that might be what's holding you back. Unsure, not clear about who you're speaking to because you need to know who you're speaking to if you want those people to come to you. And the people that are coming to me right now are saying, I've had a tough year. I lost my dad. I lost my mom. I miscarried. I lost my job. I literally have all of those kinds of challengers in my groups. And they're coming to me because fitness has been an emotional outlet for me and they want that for themselves. So figure out what your niche market is and then share the shit out of that and really narrow in on that. You don't have to be a 10-part moving system. You can do fitness and nutrition, but just focus on your niche market. And that's what you want to be advertising. That's what you want to be marketing, AKA sharing on your story, sharing on your feed. Okay. Because that's called attraction marketing. That is what's connecting you with your ideal client. And once you connect with those people, it's going to be really, really joyful for you to be like, okay, I've got this. I know how to help this person because this person is coming to me for something that I'm really familiar with or I'm confident that I can help them with. Right? So these people, let's say I have two challengers who've just lost their dad. And I'm confident in saying, you know what, give yourself this 30 minutes of just like time to yourself. If you cry the whole time, like that's okay. I'm confident that what I have to offer is going to help them or will empower them. And so it makes those conversations inside of my DMs every single day more enjoyable. And once I made this more enjoyable, it became a lot easier to show up every single day because it wasn't so sticky icky, right? It was all of a sudden just talking about things I wanted to talk about and things I was confident in and things that I knew I could help people in. So keep that in mind every single day when you're posting. Who are you speaking to? That was really long-winded. That was one bullet point. So I kind of skipped over. Just let me read this. So I guess I'm just going to piggyback on that and then I'm going to go back. So making this work enjoyable, number one, figure out your niche. And then number two, ignite conversations that you like to have. So for instance, I am a Lululemon junkie. Always have been. I share about Lululemon a lot in my feed. People always come to me for Lululemon recommendations, and I don't get paid to do that, but I like to have those conversations. I like when somebody comes to me and says, hey, what are your favorite Lululemon tights? If you guys watch my story, you'll see that I did Jamie's favorite things graphic today. Why did I do that? Somebody came to me last night and said, okay, I'm just getting started with fitness. What would you recommend for shoes, for tights, yoga mat, socks, weights? Tell me what you recommend. They trusted me to give them all of those recommendations. Those are conversations I like to have because I love working out and I love Lululemon. Okay, so that makes work, that makes showing up in my DMs more enjoyable, which makes doing my action hour, my power hours more enjoyable, which means I'm going to do them more. I'm going to take more action. So things like Lululemons, I get asked lots about skincare. You'll notice I talked about it today in my stories. I get asked lots about, I share my Costco hauls. I love going to Costco. So I have like I highlight on my story that says Costco gems. I am a makeup artist, so I like to do my makeup when I go out. So I share about beauty products and makeup products, and I'll do a tutorial on how to do your eyebrows or how to contour your face, because I like talking about those things. So share more of that, even when it's hard because I remember feeling this click of like, oh, all of a sudden I was like, I felt, and maybe some of you feel like this, I felt like I didn't know what my niche is and I didn't know what I wanted to share. And then all of a sudden I just made this decision to like just be me and share like kind of everything and see what I got a response back to. And like you would be surprised by the things that people love to see, people love to talk about. And so once you start getting that feedback, then it's really easy to see like, yeah, I am really good at doing makeup. I need to talk more about that. Or yeah, I do have a lot of Lululemon. I should talk about that. You know what I mean? And so it becomes easier to run the biz and have those conversations. I can't tell you much more about conversations other than I like them to be completely natural. I like to do my invites. Usually I invite people who I'm having those conversations with. Okay, so that's pretty basic. Like if you're going to ask me about Lululemon, I'm going to ask you what the hell you're doing in those Lululemon pants. And chances are I'm going to ask you if you want to do any of the fitness programs that I do. And chances are if they want to wear the Lululemon pants that I'm wearing, they probably want to do the fitness program that I'm doing. So that's a no-brainer. A few, 3 things that I really have done in the last like probably even 3 months that have really helped me anchor in what I'm here for and what I'm doing. Number 1, block anybody who you feel conscious about them seeing your stuff. If somebody's holding you back from sharing something on your story or sharing something on your feed and you're just like, oh, I'm scared what Ryan is going to think. I hope he doesn't comment. I hope he doesn't like. I hope he doesn't message me. Or, you know, what is Susan gonna think? Like, just block them. Just block them. They won't know. I mean, maybe they will, but they probably won't know. A lot of the things, a lot of the time, I'll watch my story, who's watching my stories, and I'm like, why is that person watching my story? Like, that is so weird. And I won't lie, that kind of makes me feel uncomfortable to like show up in my stories because I'm like talking about poop, because I joined Beachbody actually for the discount on Shakeology because I had severe IBS. So I'll be like about to say this and I'll be like, oh my gosh, Ryan's watching my story. Like, I can't post that. I can't post that. But then when I do post something vulnerable or out there like that, that's when I get a million messages. And so I know that I need to do that for myself. And so if that requires me to like block a few people who are holding me back, so be it. Once you're comfortable, unblock them. It doesn't really matter. So just go through and like unfollow or unblock people who are no longer serving you. Number 2, tell your biggest support system. So for me, that's Jordan, my fiance. Tell your biggest support system why you're doing this. Share it with anyone who will listen. Just tell them. I am very open and clear on my stories about why I'm coaching, about what it does for me, about the financial freedom that I long for, about the travel, about the time freedom, how when I have kids, I'm not going to have to go back to work because I'm going to be a full-time Beachbody coach. Yeah, that's work, but like that's amazing work. I'm very open about that. And it took me a long time. Don't get me wrong, guys. I've been a coach for 4 years and like I'm just starting to kind of grow. It took me a long time because, I own a business in my small town. So picture this. All of my clients are watching my story and I'm over here on my story talking about how much I don't like what I do as an esthetician, how my wrist is getting fucked up from doing it, how it's draining, how hard on my body it is, how much I dread the conversations and the small talk. Yet all of these people are watching me. It's hard. It's really hard. But the people who I want to continue to follow me understand that. They're the people who I love seeing day to day at work. Don't get me wrong. But like sharing that with the world, with my following, with my sisters, with my family, with my fiance, and really like I make promises to him. He was so excited today. I was like, why don't we sit down and look at the Unico resort that we're going to next year? And like we just got so excited together about hopefully there's some left, about hopefully getting the room with the private pool on the front. And like we just allowed ourselves to get excited about that. And that for me is accountability because I see how that makes him feel. I know how that makes me feel. And that makes me show up every single day. And so telling your support system why you're doing this helps them to support you, but then helps you to get clear on why you are actually doing this and what you're here for. I like 100% would quit my job tomorrow if I could. If I was like working for somebody, I would have quit a long time ago. I can't really get out of my business. But if I could have, I totally would. Right now I'm holding myself accountable to like take the steps to sell my business, but it doesn't matter what your situation is. Just tell somebody, share it. And then number 3, and this was something that I didn't even plan to happen, is find a buddy to work with. Find somebody who's doing what you want to do and work with them. And it's really got to be mutual. It's got to be somebody who has the same work ethic as you or is willing to put in the work and show up for you and give you honest feedback. But finding somebody who you can truly confide in and work with and grow with is really, really important. And that's kind of the best thing about this is that we have so many people who are doing what we're doing. We have so many people who are doing / did what we want to do, which means we know it's possible. We know it's possible. Okay? Find people who are doing what you want to do and then do what they did. Like, this is a no-brainer. This business is not hard. It's literally proven. Like, look at Lindsay Matway. Look at Morgan. Success leaves clues. It's literally a matter of showing up. So finding your niche, making work enjoyable, and then showing up to do that work, how having somebody or people in general hold you accountable to that is really, really effective when it comes to taking action. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I feel like nobody needs another team call on how to network or how to gain a following or anything. You don't need training on anything. You just need to take action. I actually kind of quit listening to podcasts because I didn't need them. I just needed to take action. I was listening to Gary Vee every single day, and eventually I was like, dude, you're saying the same thing every single day. And so I quit, and I just started taking action, kind of like he tells you to do, and shit started happening for me. So does anybody have questions? Anybody have comments or anything they want to ask or talk about, or something that they're maybe really stuck on that they want me to shed light on or help them move through? Nada? Okay. I want everybody to put in the chat what they're going to do to take action. Are you setting an alarm in your phone? Are you setting up a work date? Are you going to sit down and figure out your niche market? What are you going to do to take action? Literally tomorrow. It's already bedtime, so tomorrow. Yes, Olivia, here for it. You'll watch my story. I'm really trying to help so many people who are interested in coaching who just haven't signed up yet. So I'm sending messages to them too. Awesome. And sometimes I find setting alarms, if I'm okay, for instance, in the morning, if I'm taking a morning pee, I'm okay, I am going to unfollow 10 people. Right now I'm working on my Instagram following. So it's I'm going to unfollow 10 people. My goal by the end of the week is to get down to 4,000 or 4,500 or 4,000 followers. So I need to get rid of 500 followers. And I just set a timer for that and just do that. Awesome. Maureen, that's awesome. That sounds good. You are so good at showing up and so good at posting, and not that your posts aren't storytelling, but I think that once you find that niche, you are so consistent enough that you are going to have so many people want to join you. Because it's really, keep this in mind, guys. Okay, we have 2 minutes. If nobody's told you this, women are emotional buyers. And so when we are selling or encouraging people to join us, we need to hit their emotion spot. Okay? We need to connect with them over something or make them feel a certain way in order for them to invest in us. So when I really decided to coach, it was okay, I wanted the discount. Then I saw Megan going on a holiday and she looked so happy, and she really sat down and sent me a message. And Megan invited me 10 times to coach, and I said no. She really sat down and was you are such a powerful woman and you would make an amazing leader, and I just think you would be really good at that. She hit me on an emotional level. So when you're making your posts and when you're storytelling, make sure you're telling stories. Sorry, when you're making your post, make sure you're telling stories and you're really emotionally connecting with people. Awesome. Okay. This was good, guys. I feel like this call was like super chill, but also everything I needed